Oh, spinach wrinkles, oh, fire chopping a log to stips of ash. There's a new word for the Webster Dictionary. Stips of ash, stips. A stip of, pertaining to, a small mound of friable, you know. Oh, yogurt flop. Oh, clamshell tulip cheeks. Oh, pink spoggled eggs under umber crater board. Oh, saffron velleity. Velleity is one of those weird words that discusses the lowest state of desire. A woman walks by brand new nude. You don't even want to drop your pants. It's bad. Oh, opal winter lightning through the onyx glass. Oh, bamboo arpeggio. Oh, magnolia stalled like creamy brook water. Oh, icicle pearls. Oh, for some steamy silvers to kick the goop out of flamingo balls. Oh, mustard blush. Somebody just had a little small orgasm over there in the corner. Oh, coffee, khaki, cookie, banana. Oh, peachy rum goo. Oh, sunladder yellow. You know, I'm gonna leave the poem right here. I'm gonna let it drown. I'm gonna kill the fucking thing right there. I have something here, though, that, like, it really seriously, talking about free trade and all that shit, right? Remember the Vaseline, right? Okay. This thing I wrote many years ago. It's called in Gilmstone County, which is an imaginary place, doesn't really exist anywhere. But I think, at the end of this, you get the drift of it. In Gilmstone County, where there's hardly any wind to go by, you can smell the poem in a thing for miles. When wind wins. Wins, hands down, right out of nowhere, given good grass out front, bad brush behind. Even so, not counting wind in the pines, wind in the breaks lands, there's hardly any to go by. Go by, put arms around, smoke on, ride off, bounce on a blanket about, just miles and miles to crash, and keep crashing through. Give and go, guts, reach, even say so. Wind puts eyes all around you. Call it Wawa. Wawa is a place up in northern Ontario on the Trans-Canada Highway that in the 60s people moved around the country a lot more. You'll remember the Americans were coming up to Canada at that time. Americans like to move. They never like to stay in any one place very long. They're in a big rush always, you know, fast. Compress everything, get abbreviated, you know. So they move around the country. Actually, we learned to travel from Americans. The Jews invented sex in our country, and the Americans showed us how to move around in it. And so they go to Wawa. It's this little town in Ontario where if you get stuck hitchhiking, you hitchhike there, people are stuck there for weeks at a time. It's also an Indian word, an Ojibwe word for small talk, or the sound that geese make, stuff like that. In Japan, Wawa is a kind of wood that they make the lowest pipes for organs for the lowest notes. Wawa, sound of wind, good grass out front, bad brush behind. Try feeling at home and the loon reminds you, smack in the gut, boot miles off, of traveling way out alone. Wawa, ice fisher, jab jab, pine all around. Try and beat it, rock it, and hunky-dory, Wawa, Hawk eyes unload you, yank you out, rip all the winterizing right off, rock you into blackouts from your headlights to your spine. Wawa, back up, gun it blue, and it thumbs you into bad bush, keeps you dialing zero, rolls a tongue of frozen ground out. Wawa, good grass out front, bad brush behind. You're not supposed to clap, it's not finished. No. Say Wawa sleds your knees on staggered track, drives them down like plows, give it push-pull, give it pride, blush on like a tube, right off, Wawa slap,
Okay, keep going. Getting a lot of feedback.
Red off, Wawa slaps a skin on you. Butterfly, egg spit, cobweb, gum sawgrass, shake and bake. Flips you up on Pingo, just to match your knuckles. Rush them like wind-blown spuds. Wawa. The moguls scramble, screens of beaver teeth, stones on the firewall, fire on the windshield. Wawa. Drops down the cougar's light, visits your laugh off, hums on your jaw like a jam sandwich crammed with a pound of bees. Wawa. Wasp's tar, ropes you in, scabs you, gives you bark back. Wawa. The way people grow, the way the wind leans them, blows them like a blues harp. Wawa. The way people grow one way, pulling in another. Both ways, the way the wind leans them. Wawa. Loading and unloading. A way of growing. Better give it power. So much to trip out on. Fuzzy wild rye, schnook, blockweed, tagalag, teal, arctic char. Some of the honkiest names, not counting pine, granite, and deer flies. And wood